today, she was about to complete her biggest mission. To reach here, she had already met 100 men. That is, temporary contract marriage. Even in the abbey, the extraordinary beauty of her body was visible. But she was hiding her trembling hands and feet from everyone. It took her 7 years to reach this destination. No one could hear her fast heartbeat. No one could hear her voice. But because of being nervous, the changes in her face were clearly visible. And why wouldn't she be nervous? She was going to meet the one whom she was tired of searching for the superpower of the world for 3 weeks. And in the end, she started talking nonsense. Yes, she was going to meet the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But how did this woman get access to the Iranian Supreme Leader? After all, who was she? A Muslim or a Jew? A Shia or a Sunni? A French or an Iranian? A journalist or a Jewish agent? The one who gave the address of Ismail Haniyeh and Hassan Nasrallah? Or just the one who did research on Islam? The one who created a network of spies in Iran? Or the one who was called as a believer of Khamenei? So let's find out today, how did Israel's secret agency, Mossad, set its trap in Iran? How did the drones fire on Iran from inside Iran? Who was it who was telling Israel the exact location of every target in Iran, who was delivering news from the bedroom of the big leaders of Iran to Israel's secret agency? To solve all these puzzles, we need to know this woman. We need to know this woman. Catherine Breeze, Shakhtar. Woman, head, land. These are the 3 fights. After trying for centuries, the Jews took over the land of Muslims, that is, the Bittul Maqdis. Now he wants to use 2 things to make the world his own. Woman, that is, woman. And head, that is, the use of a lot of money, not only in this screen, but also in our future. One day the whole world will be in your slavery. This story is not new. It is centuries old, in which there is sex and science. There is also a lesson and a punishment. The women we consider weak in Pakistan. How did Israel make her his strength and use her against Iran? You will understand from today's story, and I am sure that after listening to such an interesting story, you will definitely press the subscribe button. Anyway, there is an old story. When a girl is born to the son of a Jew who survived the Holocaust, that girl's grandfather also fought hard to save the Jews from the Nazis. That is, a girl from a strict Jewish family. But you will be shocked to hear that this girl accepts Islam when she grows up. I'll tell you how. But first know that her father was a secular Jew. This girl takes a bachelor's degree in psychology, and then from London University, she also takes a double master's degree in finance and communication. She is so talented. Communication skills have also come. Accounting has also been confirmed. And she also knows how to play with her mind, because she has studied psychology. Now what will this girl do? She is going to play a very big game. But now put all these degrees aside. Now here, in this girl's life, there is an entry of a young Muslim. Both meet at the university, spend some time together, and both got married. It was 2004. After some time of marriage, this girl accepts Islam. Yes, everyone was very happy, but 1 minute. A girl from such a family, whose grandfather and grandfather were fighting Nazi Germany and were about to survive in the Holocaust. No one was surprised when such a Sawani girl accepted Islam. Anyway, this pair also had 2 beautiful children. This girl started learning one thing about Islam. Now that she was a Muslim, she should have known everything. But there was a problem here. This girl had accepted Sunni Islam. Why am I calling it a problem? Why am I saying this? You will understand later. Anyway, the year 2024 came. Here the New Year's sun had risen. There in this girl's house, the fire of misunderstandings began to burn. Both husband and wife were not getting along. The relationship went well for 10 years, but I don't know what happened now. I will tell you. Now she had to break this relationship so that she could form new relationships, but not here, mission in Iran. Because this girl was no one else but Catherine Grace Shakhter. She divorced her Yemeni husband in 2014. She changed her sect from Sunni to Shia, and she left Iran. From a Sawani to a Sunni, and now an Iranian Mamana. This is nothing. The form was yet to change. In fact, the glory of this form was yet to spread, such that big commanders were about to melt. But before casting a spell on her beauty, she cast a religious arrow, that too with her pen. Yes, she came here as a journalist who is loyal to Willati Faqih, whose pen writes such articles in support of Iranian Khailab that the hearts of the readers are lit by the lamps of revolution in everyone's eyes. She became very religious, and religion was the key with which she could open closed doors. From 2015 to 2017, in just 2 years, she became a big journalist of Iran. First, she wrote for right-wing news agencies like Mashri News, Tasnim News, Mayher News. But then, the darkness of her pen was bringing color. Because she was singing the song of revolution, then what? In a short while, she became a regular editor in the website of the Iranian Supreme Leader, KHAMNAYI.IR. Now she started writing for Tehran Times and Press TV. During this time, Catherine also did 2 big interviews. Now from Karbala to Qam, and from there to Mashhad. She had won everyone's trust, not just ordinary people, but she was also becoming special for the special people. During this time, she wrote 2 books whose words were giving evidence of her faith and being a Shia. But who knew? The words that were entering people's hearts were all lies. These books were Arabia's rising under the banner of the first Imam, and from Mecca to the plan of Karbala, walking with the holy household of the Prophet. These books were also being discussed among the high officials of power, and this was the religious passion because of which big doors kept opening for her. But now, after the assassination, she had to take control of the hearts, because she had penetrated, but she was not able to know the secret, which only the leaders of the revolution, commanders, and some political ministers knew. The secret was that, is Iran going to become a jury court? Where are its organizations? Where are the scientists and secret research centers? Where do the leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah come from? Where do they go? And most importantly, reaching the supreme leader. To unveil all these big secrets, she used her beauty. Yes, muta, meaning contract marriage. She was doing contract marriage one after the other. Iranian merchants, revolutionary professors, revolutionary officers, commanders, and then ministers. It is claimed that Catherine had offered muta to 100 men. Now the doors of the bedrooms of big personalities had opened for her. Think, can a husband hide the secret from his wife? And that too, from a spy whose mission is to find out the secret. Now Israel was beginning to get information about the most sensitive places in Iran. What will be the target of the drone? Which file is present in which office? Which caravan of husbandry will pass through which road? Everything, and all this, was going into Mossad's system. No one could have imagined that this religious, this advocate of the revolution of Iran, is an Israeli spy. She has become the wife of many great leaders. In many pictures, she is seen smiling with President of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi and Prosia filmmaker Neda Tal. Catherine can also be seen in pictures with the daughter of Major General Qasem Soleimani by Russian President Putin's chief advisor, Alexander Dogan, and in the year 2020 at the international level. At the international level, her blogs were read in front of the whole world. She had succeeded in proving herself to be Prosia, and in the light of this, she was conveying all the secrets to Israel. But the whole world was on one side, and her final round of the mission was on the other side. And this was very difficult. Yes, meeting the supreme leader of Iran, Khomeini, directly. Remember that the supreme leader was quite impressed by the book he wrote on the revolution of Iran. Abu Basdara told the people of the revolution to arrange a meeting with Khomeini again and again, who was a good friend of his. Finally, he entered the final round of his mission, because the invitation to meet the supreme leader had arrived from Tehran, February 2017. It was drizzling on the roads of Tehran. Cars without license plates and black mirrors had arrived to pick him up from the hotel in Tehran. The Iranian shawl and hijab had completely covered him. He was seated in the middle of the back seat of the car, between two women in the ocean. As I told him in intro, his hands and feet were shaking. She was fixing her dress again and again. She was straightening the rings of her fingers with her trembling fingers, and she was killing the fear in her heart, because she knew that today she was going to meet the one who some people consider the Naib-Imam. Yes, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Allahu Akbar, America, America. By the way, very few people know about him. If you want to know, I have made this documentary. Watch it after the video is complete. But for now, keep an eye on this important scene, because it was a very important meeting. After this, the trust of all religious figures of the cabinet on Catherine will increase. Commanders took Catherine to a courtyard, where there were only trees. From there, she was taken to a sitting room, where beautiful, precious carpets were scattered. There was also a picture of Khomeini and Khomeini in the sitting room. Catherine thought that this place would be like a presidential palace, but it was very simple. There were Arabic-style sofas and cushions on the floor. She was presented with a glass of sweet tea and walnuts to eat. She was noting each and every detail. Suddenly, there was a commotion at the door. When she saw Khomeini coming to her, her eyes were wide open. She stood in respect. So Khomeini asked Catherine to sit on the floor through a translator, and he himself sat on the chair. Catherine had already been warned not to look at Khomeini, and not to speak until he asks a question. Khomeini was told that Catherine had adopted a complete Shia religious view. Not only this, but the successes of Catherine's writing were also in his knowledge. Catherine claims that Khomeini told her about the Great War that would be fought in the future. Khomeini shared how he wanted to liberate the Al-Aqsa Mosque from the Jews. Half an hour later, the Iranian guide suddenly got up and left. Khomeini's arrogance was so great that as soon as he left, Catherine felt as if her life had come to life. Despite penetrating so much, she was afraid that her secret would be revealed. But her impossible mission had been completed. After this meeting, Catherine had become a heroine in Iran. Her name was mentioned in newspapers, interviews on TV, articles on Kami.ir, and in religious circles. From 2017 to 2025, Catherine's parrot was speaking in Iran for 5 years. She had access to every place and every secret place, and her access meant that Israel was present there, because not only her eyes were seeing everything, but Mossad could see the whole of Iran through her eyes. Now it was time to take action against Israel, and to remove the mask from Catherine's face. She had to leave Iran. In 2022, she was leaving for France. She was stopped at the airport. An Interior Ministry officer started interrogating her, but nothing could be found, and she left for France. Now it was time to shock Iran. In February 2022, an article by Catherine was published on the Times of Israel, in which she wrote, "I have seen Iran from within, and now I have come back. I have accepted Islam only for infiltration and solidarity only for access." An uproar broke out in Iran. Religious institutions were shaken. Catherine's interviews were deleted. Footage was deleted from the TV channel. And the people she met made friends. They were shocked. Then Iran realized that this was not just infiltration. This was a decades-long mission, which leaked their sacred system from within. But by then, it was too late. She had left. The maps, routes, and faces given to her were now safe in Mossad's computers. What she had done and left, her effects began to be seen after a while. On July 31st, 2024, a drone suddenly attacked a building considered safe in Tehran, and in just 8 seconds, Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, was killed. Now Iran was in shock that only 2 months later, on September 27th, 2024, during another dangerous operation in the southern area of Beirut, Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, was killed in his secret commander's center. Both attacks took place in different countries. The leaders of different groups were killed, but one thing was the same. The location of the target was 100% accurate. Such accuracy, such a real-time intelligence feed, which can not only come from a satellite, but also from an insider. The question is, who was giving Israel this location? Then a name began to circulate in the media. Mossad's undercover agent, Catherine Priest Shakhtar. But she had already left Erod in 22 to dot. So how did all this happen? Then a theory emerged, which no one could prove, but everyone took it seriously. Catherine did not just take information. Rather, she left behind such people who accurate her planted thoughts, maps, and targets on the arrival of time. That is, this war was of ideology, mind, and trust. Then, what happened on June 13th, 2025? It became clear that Israel's spy system in Iran has reached a dangerous level. According to an Israeli general on June 27th, Israel killed 30 senior security chiefs of Iran and 11 senior nuclear scientists, targeted more than 900 targets. The important thing is that Israel had the map in the initial attacks. The location of each target was pre-planned, accurate, and real-time. The reason for this can not only be the satellite, rather it was the internal network and the data of the spies. It is different that despite being attacked from within, Iran did not give up. Rather, it made such a retaliatory attack on Israel that despite infiltrating, it fell to its knees. But will Iran now clean up the spies of Mossad and RAW from within? On the other hand, Catherine says in her interviews and statements that she is not a Mossad spy. She is just an investigative journalist, and that's why she accepted Islam, so that she could know what was going on in Iran. It is different that what Mossad asked was told like a parrot. What can I say? Every spy is not like Kamran Faridi, who openly says that yes, he is a spy. Before leaving, let me tell you that this Israeli spy entered the house of Iran's commanders. But I am coming to your house. Your thinking cannot change sitting here. For that, I will have to come to your house. I will have to understand your family and make you understand. So keep an eye out.